recording that?
Yeah,
I think that's the first clip we're gonna use.
We might have to start the show.
We gotta pivot to maximize the opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. So it was taping already?
Yeah. I'll cut out all the shit.
We're not.
I ain't say nothing that you know. One thing about me, I don't say a whole lot of things that I don't want people to hear. You know what I'm saying? Like by habit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if it's something that's a little bit racy, then I'm ready to deal with whatever comes from that. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So it's whatever, man.
That's dope. That's cool.
Yeah.
Man.
On that note,
Sure.
episode 33, the Takeaway Podcast.
33.
It's a big one.
Seen with Willie the Kid.
Willie the Kid.
Yeah, man.
Grand Rapids native, right? Correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yes.
Straight out the town, man.
So for the people that aren't familiar with you, can you go ahead and introduce yourself for the people?
Yeah, Willie I'm laughing like Vince. Willie the Kid.
Yeah, you just started laughing.
You know what I'm saying? Willie the Kid. I'm from GR USA, from Grand Rapids, USA. I've been I don't know how far I want to go as far as saying this, but I guess we can be true on the Takeaway Podcast.
Yeah.
I'm probably the primary and premier reason why a lot of pride is in this city right now when it comes to entertainment, when it comes to entrepreneurship, especially for minorities, especially for people who come from a unique situation as me and my team has. I am probably the reason why a lot of people are proud to say they're from Grand Rapids. You know what I'm saying? Prior to me doing,
I want to argue
things,
with that.
Sure. And I'll be ready if anybody has any disagreements with that. Because prior to me doing the things I've done in the business space and the music space, I would see people say they're from Detroit. I would see people say they're from the places that they transferred to.
Yeah.
Right. So like I moved to Atlanta when I was 17, and I knew people down there from Grand Rapids who said they're from Detroit. I've seen people, famous people and unlike famous people, go and transplant to places, and then when people say where you from, they claim to say that they currently in, and that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. Nah, I'm just saying people in general. You know what I'm saying? I've seen all kind of people do that. So it's cool to represent, you know what I'm saying, where you are. But I think I instilled the whole concept of saying, hey, man, still represent where you're from. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I done it so much that when I did it was uncool. I did it to a fault almost. So by trade, I'm a musician. I'm an artist. I'm a producer. So I took a lot of hits for saying I'm from Grand Rapids. If I would have just said I was from New York, my family's from New York on my mother's side primarily. I could have easily just claimed that if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? I lived in Atlanta for over 10 years. I can easily claim that if I wanted to. There is stock and value in claiming that type of thing. Yeah, I just chose to do it the hard way and just say I'm from Grand Rapids. And I think it proven itself to be a pretty smart strategy along the way. Yeah. Because I've done really well in my life, thank God. And I gave a lot of young people and a lot of people that came after me the confidence and courage to do the same. Wow. So by trade, I'm an artist. I'm a musician. But my day job is I'm an entrepreneur. I own one of the, if not one, it is the first minority-owned business downtown in the last 18 years. So we are changing the playing field as far as minority ownership in downtown Grand Rapids with our bar coming up. It's called Ambiance GR. I'm also the co-CEO of GR USA. It's the premier merchandising brand for Grand Rapids. It's again one of those reasons why a lot of pride has been instilled into the city. Yeah. I'm also a co-owner of Radiator. It's a tech geological app. It's a tech startup that we're going to be, it's already launched, but we're kicking it into gear this year. I'm on the board for the Midwest Tech Project. I'm also the co-CEO of Motu Vijay Spirits. It's probably the fastest growing craft brand in West Michigan right now. We have Brut Champagne that's on shelves in 57 locations here in Grand Rapids, so including bars, restaurants, retail. And on February 2nd, we're launching our second product. It's called Avani Supreme Vodka. It's a corn distilled vodka. We kind of fight with Tito's a little bit in that space. Yeah. But we want to be the go-to for West Michigan. You guys were at the tasting the other night. We appreciate y'all coming out. And
made me feel good.
It tastes good, yo.
Made me feel good.
We all get you a bottle. And the retail's good, too, right? It's at 23, 24?
24.
24 a bottle? Like, come on now.
So we just pushing the envelope, you know what I mean, way, way, way further. We got some things coming up with legalized cannabis as well. I'll talk more about that when it gets solidified. But yeah, entrepreneur, man, and an artist.
That's a long resume, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
So real quick, because a lot of young people listen to this podcast, talk about GR back in the day when you were growing up in it. Because I be hearing stories, be like, hey, y'all can't just So give us a little history lesson.
It's daffodils and lilies right now compared to how it was when I grew up. I got my cousin with me right now. He came home from the penitentiary we was in the car right now talking about this now. We're talking about the way the situation was we were coming up. The opportunities wasn't as fruitful as they are now. And a lot of people had to become resourceful to find a way to make a living. You know what I'm saying? And I think Grand Rapids sort of took a severe hit as far as in our community. I grew up on the southeast side. In our community, it wasn't a whole lot of options. You know what I mean? I had a lot of support coming up, so I was able to find my way differently. But a lot of my friends, a lot of my family didn't have that same equal opportunity. So Grand Rapids back then, I'm going to just speak from my experience. Grand Rapids back then didn't have a lot of opportunity for us as minorities coming up on the southeast side. But what we're doing now, Motivage, when I'm Ambiance GR, we're teaching and we're showing that the opportunities are here. We're making Grand Rapids yield opportunities because they're here. Somebody's got to chip away at the infrastructure to break the pieces up. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I remember shit. I mean, I'm saying, customer.
Yeah, of course, bro.
I remember seeing stuff like growing up. I remember seeing kids just getting pulled off their bikes and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like just right in front of my grandmother's house. You got nobody give me that bike. Right or wrong, cuz. I don't see things like that because all the kids in the house playing Fortnite right now, so they're not even outside.
They're not even outside.
You know what I'm saying? So I come home in the summertime, I'm driving through, there ain't no kids outside.
Yeah, that's real.
You know what I'm saying? When we grew up, like my grandma put us out the house. Right? You can't even sit in the house all day.
Yeah.
You wake up in the morning, get some breakfast, now get outside, and don't keep coming in. Stay outside.
Yeah.
Right.
Then when the street lights get dark, you got to come inside the house, and then we bring that same party on the porch or on the front of the step outside.
Yeah.
I got stories for days. I got family, like my cousin's terrorists, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, word, for fun.
Yeah.
Like, now that energy don't even pump in the veins of the youth anymore. And I'm not saying I want them to become troubled and have the challenges that we have, but I do know that even though the climate, even though the climate is different, the challenges are still the same. So I want make sure everybody's still prepared to take these things on the chin and live another day and make something of themselves. It's almost too easy these days. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, because I remember coming up and like the stuff I was getting into, and I'm like, all right, somebody where they walk this path, because like ain't no one saying nothing slick to me yet.
Right.
Ain't no one trying to do no weird shit to me. Like, so I could really tell when I was coming up that like, yo, like somebody
in my era, you couldn't even wear that pink hat on your head right there.
Exactly.
Right or wrong.
Look at that.
That's
you couldn't even wear that pink. In my era, you come outside with that pink hat on. Somebody's gonna have a comment about that hat, and you better be able to respond
quick,
equal or more value about because that's gonna escalate, right or wrong. If you don't say nothing about them saying something about that pink hat, it's gonna go to your sweater, to whatever gum you got in your mouth, to whatever necklace you got. It's going to keep going and going and going and going. So one day you're going to end up really having a fight over that pink hat.
Wow.
That's real shit. How much you like that hat, bro?
When you ask the question about Grand Rapids then versus Grand Rapids now, it's a beautiful time, and I appreciate the way it is right now. Yeah. But it was a little bit more, it was more of a challenge to grow up here back when I did.
So if that was the environment that you grew up in and you were around, what made you want to claim so loyal to the city? Was it just
I didn't look at it as a bad thing. I looked at it as my experience. I didn't say I hate this experience like that. Like that wasn't in my mind. My mind was this is just my town. This is where I'm from.
Yeah.
I have a big family. Like my mother, my father cared for me. My grandmothers, my cousins and all that. Like I had a strong support system around me. So no matter what was going on outside, I was blessed enough to still be able to find my way through that maze. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people I said didn't have the opportunity, but I did. I went to a creative arts academy in the 3rd grade. So I used to draw and make music since I asked my cousin since I was a little kid, draw and make music and things like that. So I went to a school to hone those talents, but that school was right down the street from where my grandmother lived. So I used to have to walk to Madison Park School, and you probably don't know it. I forget what it's called now, but it was right there on Franklin and Madison. That school used to be one of the more troubled elementary schools in the city, and I would see a lot of crazy things on my way walking from my grandmother's house to that school, only to get in the bus to go down to Lafayette and go to this creative arts school to learn drama and dance and ballet and poetry and literature and all these things. So I was always like this creative, weird kid in the scheme of all of this criminal poverty type element. on the southeast side of town. So I found my way through art. That's why it's a blessing.
Yeah.
And I can cry about it to this day. The art is what saved my life at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So it's like, it's a real passion that I have to be an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Learning all these things, man, writing plays and writing poems and, visual arts with acrylics and color pencils and going downtown. Like, they used to have, I forget what it was called, man, but they used to allow the kids at my school to walk to the, like, St. Cecilia and the DeVos Hall when cats would come to town, or when whatever Shakespeare drink might come, whatever it be, opera might come to town, and they let us go to the dress rehearsals in the daytime. Wow. So we'd sit there and watch these big ballet plays and these big drama plays. Coming into operas and symphonies and shit like that.
Yeah.
And we'd go and watch St. Cecilia, watch the whole symphony, do the dress rehearsal. I used to walk downtown from my school and watch those things, and then go right back home. And then my cousin Mike got a gun on him. You know what I'm saying? All in the same day. You know what I'm saying? I was able to see, okay, this is what's going on, but we got to find a way to pivot. You know what I'm saying? That's my word for the day, I guess. To get up out that space. You know what I'm saying? So a really unique experience.
Did that cause problems back in your neighborhood? Like, were people checking you because of that?
Fuck no, man. What?
No one gave you a hard time for that shit?
Bro, I'm trying to tell you, man, like on both sides of my family, my dad and my mother's side, we don't have those kind of problems. Like, my family's pretty popular and pretty, instrumental in this town. Yeah, we don't have those kind of problems.
Wow.
That's what's up.
Wow.
So then, at what age did you really start to take music real serious?
As long as I can remember. My dad, we lived with my grandmother when I was real little. My dad, he had like these big ass, like, concert monitors down there every corner of his room, and had a whole turntable set up and amps and collected vinyl and shit like that. So the music was always a thing since I was a baby, and people used to come. This is back before people had CD players and shit like that. So this is like the early '80s. I was a baby, like 4, 5, 6 years old, and they would come and take the vinyl. And they want to put the vinyl on cassette so they could play it in their cars. So my dad was the guy that would take it.
Nice. He was the plug.
He was the plug for that. So he'd come by with a vinyl and say, "Hey, Will, can you take it?" My dad's name's Willie too. Yeah. Will, can you put this Public Enemy album on a cassette? I want to play this in my car. And my dad would make tapes. So he was my first introduction to a DJ, to what a DJ was. So he had a whole turntable set up, amps, monitors, headphones, and he would like dub these tapes. And he'll leave and he'll be like, "Yo, somebody's finna come by and grab his tapes and give it to him." You know what I'm saying? So I would play the tapes before they come and listen, before they come and pick them up and shit like that. So I was always listening to the music. I didn't play basketball, football, none of that. The music was my thing the whole time. So you ask, what age did I take music seriously? There was never a time where I didn't. You know what I mean? I didn't stumble upon it one day.
So you seem like a very thoughtful, deep guy. So like, I'm asking this for myself too. Like, how much was like on accident with your life, and how much was planned out?
Nothing was accident. I think God just wove this situation for me. Like, I feel like I'm chosen, bro. I'm blessed, bro. Wow. Like, for real. Like this ain't nothing accidental about this. Nothing. And I know that's why it's so solidified, because I believe it's divine. I think God just put his grace on my life and say, "Yo, you gonna go do this." Now a lot of people probably get that same blessing, but the key is to identify the blessing. Like, God will send you a message, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta be able to pick up the message. I saw something on the internet. They say God will give you flour and eggs and sugar and milk. You gotta make the cake yourself, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
So I believe I had all those things in place, but you gotta put that shit together, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like having that pantry with them eggs and flour, that wasn't no accident, G. That was meant to be. I just was blessed enough to identify, hey, this is the ingredients for a fucking cake. Let's make a cake. You know what I'm saying? Like, so no accidents, bro.
I heard a quote the other day that was like, most people are born unique, but we die a copy. Right? And I hear in your voice when you talk about it, is like so authentic. Wow. And so, like, just as much as kids are not getting picked up from their bikes out now, they're playing Fortnite. I run into a lot of youth and people my age, even too, they're just like all want to be the same. They're all trying to rap. I mean, I'm not trying to say like they can't do it, but I'm also like a practical person, and like we start getting conversations like you being a hater and whatnot. But just like no, like I really do work, and I've like done a lot of things myself like the same way, and I know what it takes. I also know that like with music and like, so I want to ask, the question is the climate of music now. How do you see it? And for the youth, do we have another Grand Rapids star coming out of the city? And like, do you have a guess or a bet who you think we all should be listening to right now too?
The climate of music, it's in a good space. as much as it is not, and vice versa. I just think it depends on where you jump into that. Like if you want, I can point out you can always find something wrong with something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can always find something good with something. What kind of person are you though? You optimist or you pessimist? You opportunist? Like what is your take on things, right? So you ask me my take on music, I'm gonna tell you, music has a lot of opportunities still today as it always has. Yeah. Even more so now. I can make myself a star right here in this room by going up live every single day, putting my music out.
Yeah. Right.
You can get, let's just say, like people like right back in the day, you had to sell 1 million albums and go platinum, or you wasn't shit. You can sell 10,000 albums now at $20 a pop. And make more money than somebody who probably wouldn't go. And you, let's say you do that same thing 4 or 5 times a year.
Yeah, you good.
You make the money your parents maybe was growing up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a lot of opportunity because you got Instagram, because you got Facebook, because you got Twitter, because you got SoundCloud, because you got TikTok, because you got Snapchat, because you got YouTube, because you got, you know,
a list, man.
It's a list of outlets. We was doing music, let's say 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Not to mention 30 years ago, 40 years ago, there was no way to get your music out but to go to a record label and let them rob you and to put your music out. That was the only way to do it. Yeah, so how dare you look at that climate and say there's something wrong with music right now? Yeah. If you're not a business person, you probably you know, you probably can't hustle your way out that situation, and that's not that's not a fault on the climate of music. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's a personal problem.
That's you.
Like, you feel me? So but as far as just young people coming up, go for it, man. I think anybody can make a thing out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see it being a problem for anybody doing it. I would recommend a lot of the young artists in Grand Rapids to leave Grand Rapids and take the show on the road. I would recommend that. Yeah. I really believe if I didn't go, I went to college, right after high school in Atlanta, and that's what got me in the loop to get a record deal and eventually put out albums and tour the world, make a bunch of money doing music. I wondered if I'd stay here, that probably wouldn't have happened quite like that. Right. And I'm telling you, so I encourage a lot of the young guys that's coming out to town, take the show on the road. You don't got to go to college in Atlanta like me, but at least get used to getting in the car, going to Chicago and hang out, or going to Detroit to hang out. Because that's another thing about Grand Rapids. Everybody's so worried about what it's not. Think about what it is for a second. Yeah. We're right in the middle of Chicago and Detroit, which are 2 thriving hip hop markets. You can get in the car and drive 3 hours and be in Chicago, 2.5, depending on how fast you drive, and be in Detroit. Or you can get in the car and do 5 hours and be in Indianapolis. Or you really, really got the balls, get in your car and drive 10, you'll be in New York. You know what I'm saying? Like, how bad do you want it, though? You know what I'm saying? 12, you would be in Atlanta. It's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. How bad do you want it? Right. You get an Airbnb, you get a hotel room, you and 4 of your friends jump in the car, everybody pay $100 and get down there. Yeah. If you know it's a big show, if you know it's a big opportunity coming up, how bad do you want it? But to sit in Grand Rapids and demand that the show come to Grand Rapids, you're a fool. There's no
crazy talk.
There's no record labels here. There's no mainstream radio. We are a secondary market in a secondary state when it comes to music. So we're like down in Grand Rapids. You better understand that the show's not gonna come knock on your door. Yeah, it's not gonna happen like that. And I think a lot of the young guys, they got this sense of entitlement. Or just not thinking big enough. Maybe, I don't know. It's not a diss to anybody. No, I'm just saying, let's open our perspective before we start judging the climate as less than what it should be.
It's real. Yeah. Speaking of young rappers, and you talked about you listen to a lot of music coming up. Were there any specific albums or artists that you listened to that like really inspired you to start making your own music?
Oh, hell yeah, man. Everything. I mean, everything. My man asked me the other day to do this, like, 10 albums that influenced your life on Instagram thing, and I did. I wrote them up and took them down, put them up, took them down. Yeah, it just depends, different parts. You know what I'm saying? Like my pop used to put me on a Rakim, like Airbnb and Rakim was big. You know what I'm saying? Listen to that. That was real big. Wow. And then my cousin, his older brother, my cousin Bud, put me on like Tribe Called Quest and Far Side and stuff like that. We used to bang that too. You know what I'm saying? And then I got a little bit older, and I think like Wu-Tang. Like my older brother Lai, he signed a deal with Wu, and that was my introduction into music as a participant and not a fan anymore. You know what I'm saying? I got to see it firsthand how this shit really is. So Wu definitely a big influence. Anything by Nas, anything by Jay,
Jay, man,
Outkast. I mean, everybody, man. There isn't too many artists that I listened to growing up that didn't have an influence.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, right? You got best and then you got favorite. Sometimes we get that.
There's a big difference. There's a big difference.
Like, say, what's your favorite album? That's not necessarily the best hip hop album.
Yeah.
There's some really great hip hop albums, especially ones that come out recently. They're great, but they're not my favorite.
Yeah.
I probably haven't had a favorite hip hop album in like 15, 20 years, to be honest with you.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like a favorite hip hop, but has there been some great ones?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. But my favorite all my favorite albums, we playing right now in the car. We playing Mobb Deep, Infamous right now. So my favorite albums came out in the 90s. My favorite albums.
Yeah.
But the great albums come out every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just something. We playing big the other night. So my favorite albums are like.
Yeah, we was having a conversation
96,
about that the other
97,
night.
95, 94, my favorite albums. Like Pete Rock and C.O. Smooth, The Main Ingredient. That's one of my favorite albums. Like, that might be one of my top 5 favorite albums.
Yeah.
But somebody probably argue that's not the best album ever made. But
But that's what
to me, it's the most to you.
That's if I could only listen to 5 albums for the rest of my life, that would be top 5 for me.
Wow.
Well, let's hear the top 5 then. Come on.
Let's
hear it.
Man.
Let's
That's
hear it.
Come on the spotlight.
That's not
Come
even
on.
fair, man.
You said that like you had it ready to go.
No, I don't. Don't get it. No, don't let me trick you. Don't let me trick you. I don't. Shit, man.
Or maybe artists, if that's easier. Like
I
your
just
top 5
rambled
favorite
off a bunch
artists.
of artists. Yeah, I just rambled off a bunch of artists. Yeah, my favorite artists is Wu, Nas, and Jay. You know, that's period.
You know, the biggest thing that I love about Jay is that, like, how relevant he's being able to keep himself throughout every generation.
Yeah.
When I listen to the old Jay shit, it still sound good. And when I listen to the new Jay shit, it still sound good. And, like, I make jokes with Sam and all the people that, like, I feel like M is like the Jeremy Lin of the hip-hop game. Because, like, you know, he had a hot, you know, I feel like he was big for that moment.
Yeah.
But, like, he hasn't really transcended, like, into the new times. And, like, I just heard his last album. I just wasn't really impressed. Now, can he spit? Yeah. But, like, I just like the fact that, like, you know, in the music business, like, I think part of it is an artist. And then back on the business side, like, first part is, like, how can you stay relevant and transcend your sound? You don't have to get the most views.
Right.
We're not trying to get you to get like that. But we're just saying how you can still, like, build your brand. I think Jay, you know, however how he got down, I don't know, whatever. But, like, it seems like he got it figured out.
One thing I learned from Jay, and I try to implement that into my process as an artist and just as a person. As a black man here, you know, hearing this in these spaces, is, and he said it in an interview not too long ago, but I already picked that up from him before he said that. That's why I kind of blew my mind when he said it. It's to play forever. This forever mentality. You know what I'm saying? A lot of artists do things for what's current.
Yeah.
A lot of artists respond to the current climate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of artists position themselves to be relevant currently. I think Jay, what he always did, and I picked this up when I was young. So just do it for yourself. Like, be true to yourself. Be true to your story. Learn how to package up your portfolio. Package this shit up. Like, who you are will never be outdated. Like, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing that never play out.
You be dropping these lines on everybody. Who you are will never be outdated.
Yeah.
Hold on.
That'll never, like, you know what I'm saying? You would never be not relevant being yourself. You know what I'm saying? But if you try to find what's going on and jump in it, it's like trying to ride a wave. You're gonna wipe out on a surfboard.
So, question about
you know
that, like, because I peeped that a lot. How much of that you think is just like natural DNA, like, just like you know, being yourself?
Me or Jay-Z? Or you talking
No,
about?
you, right? Like, people who have that.
Oh yeah,
like,
man.
Like, is that like how? Like, because I've always been myself. But I can see people like switch up. Like every time I see them, they're a different version.
It's not easy, bro.
And I don't get like, is that because you're lucky enough to go to a creative school? Like, what is it? Like, what do you think? Is it DNA, bro? Like, I'm confused.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. A lot of it's DNA, but a lot of it is a good friend of mine. He owns a car dealership, and he said, "Bro, do you know why people buy cars?" I said, "Transportation, duh." He said, "No. Why else do they buy cars? Because they're dope. I don't know why white people buy cars." He said, "Fear." So what do you mean by that? They're afraid to not be relevant. They're afraid to not look away. They're afraid to get judged. They're afraid to not be able to get to where they gotta go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, fear is a big motivational tool. So I think when people lose their way and can't be themselves and stuff like that, it's all fear, bro. They afraid if they wear an overall set, or if they wear a pink hat, or if they drink tea, or if they drink Motu Vijay. They're afraid that
of
the
perception.
They're afraid of what's gonna happen. So people say switch up. They switch up to avoid having to take the hit of what might happen if they don't be what they may be perceived as being relevant or real or cool or hardcore or tough, whatever word you want to throw out there. Yeah. Whatever they want to be. I gotta be rich. I gotta look rich. You know what I mean? Or I gotta be tough. I gotta look tough. Like those are responses to fear, bro. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times people may not be themselves because they're afraid to be themselves. Wow. So I think one thing that helped me and people like me is never been afraid to say, you know what? Yeah, I read that book. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've done that before. Y'all tried that before. I like that jacket. You know what I mean? I'm into that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's actually funny that you say that because I think one of the things about your career that stands out to me the most, like looking back to when I originally found you, like in middle school and elementary for me, like it seemed like back then you were making, you know, the radio hits, or at least that was the, you know, the goal at the time. Sure. And it definitely, as your music has progressed, like the topics, the subject matter has progressed with that.
Absolutely.
And it's I feel like you've gotten more lyrical as you've gotten older. So I don't know if you agree with that personally, but is there something like, was it a moment?
It depends what you're tuned into. The thing that always catapulted me above other people locally and abroad is because I was lyrical. Being a lyricist isn't a new thing for me. I've always been uber super lyrical, always. But what you may have heard in elementary school or middle school may have been the radio songs. But that's just me doing business. You know what I'm saying? Like when you go to a job interview, you got to put a suit on. You can't come in there with a hoodie on because that's not the rhythm.
Attire.
It's not the attire. It's not. So when I signed a deal with Warner and we put an album out, there was like songs with Gucci Mane and Flo Rida and all that on it because that was the space. All those guys were signed to that record label.
Right.
So they were trying to push all the acts at one time, and my team thought it was a good idea to cross market and put everybody out on the same platform. But while that song was out that you had access to, maybe he was at Beatniks over there on Burton and saw one of my mixtapes. It was all hardcore raps and boom bap beats. What you think I'm doing now, but I always been doing it. Your access to that, man. Your mom probably didn't let you go over there on Kalamazoo and Burton and buy mixtapes over there. You know what I'm saying? So it was always been here. You probably just didn't have access to it. You know what I'm saying? We did shows at the Orbit Room and all these clubs they here. People fight, people get to shoot and all that. I'm not on stage doing radio songs. I'm on stage with just me and the mic spitting bars like acapella, like rapping, like lyrical. But you probably were in middle school, so you couldn't get in the club at the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's about what you had access to. Now, to lean more to your point, now I don't even bother fitting molds for business because I don't rely on music as my primary business source. So now I can just go to the studio and do whatever I want. And even more so to your point, I've definitely grown up since the first time I put a record out. So I've traveled the world and made money and seen things, had experiences and did things that quite naturally go into the music. And one thing I know too, looking at the best artists, quote unquote, they're always full grown adults. You know why that is? Because when you're an adult, you got more shit to talk about, bro. And you can articulate yourself better. Ask a 14-year-old to tell me about your week. How'd your week go today?
Good.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But the same thing happened as an artist. You get in the studio, good. But when you 34, when you 35,
you see some shit, you got some shit to talk about.
Tell me about your week. Yo, check this out. Not only do you got more to talk about, but you know how to talk about it. So I've been blessed to allow myself to mature through this whole process and put that through the music. Absolutely.
Wow, I think it could be too like the beats in the early 2000s are a lot different than like the Alchemist beats are going on now. At least from my perspective.
But I'm trying to tell you, those Alchemist type beats were always there. They just rap beatniks. You couldn't get down to Burden. That's all. You couldn't get there.
I need to take a road trip, huh?
You couldn't get to Burden. They were always there. The beats you heard probably was just stuff that was put out through the major label.
Just
That's
what
why
I was hearing in the hallways of school.
Of course, because it was out there though.
Right.
So you can go to Best Buy back then and buy that on CD. But a lot of those kids at the school you went to probably wasn't able to go down to Burden and Kalamazoo and buy my mixtape. You know what I'm saying?
So I got a question because my business brain is just buzzing. So like the mixtapes on the business side, those are all yours when you sign your deal. Like I'm always trying to figure out like the record business, right? Because like you said something, I think I caught on to it. Like the people on the label, so would they just send them their songs out to Gucci and he would just hop on it?
What you mean?
Like so when you made your album, right, and like people hop on it, like feature it. How much of that is like organic, authentic? Like yo, hop on my track for me real quick. And like, how does that business, like, you don't have to say exact numbers, but like, how's that split up? And then when you sign a deal that young of an age, you see your brother sign, your brother give you tips, like how you navigate? Because like now, I guess you can just upload a TuneCore and you can be on everything, right? But back in then, like you saying, like we don't understand. I don't understand. Like I had to go somehow meet this person. This person has to give me a 30 pay, 40, 100, whatever contract, and I got to be able to like, and then sign it, and I got to like go.
Now the alternative to that is the mixtape thing.
Yeah.
I can come right here and this is back then, and even now, I can come record a whole album right here in this basement and then put the shit on physical copies and put them in my trunk and just ride around to all of the clubs and all of the rest of the stores and popping places, open my trunk and sell them. That's how a lot of guys down south and a lot of guys on the West Coast made a fortune. That's how Too Short started. That's how E40 started out in Oakland. That's how Master P started down in Louisiana up to California. That's how Baby and Cash Money, that's how they started. They just invested money in being able to record music and then took the same money and went on the road and sold the CDs out the trunks. And then you go to record stores and you put consignments and you set deals up. They buy X amount of copies and you could do it yourself. Wow. That's the blueprint that allowed a lot of the independent multimillionaire moguls to have their moments. Because they didn't have access to a big record label that was in New York because they lived in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. There's no, you know what I mean? There's no record label there. So they had to get creative to get the music out. Wow. And then when your local community starts catching on to it, it grows and it grows and it grows. And before long, you're not in Baton Rouge anymore. Now you're in Mississippi and Louisiana. Yeah. And then you eventually end up in LA and then you end up in Washington State and then you end up being this thing. And then at that time, when you do that, that's when labels come knock on your door. Now they want to do business with you. That's how Baby got that, what it was like 85-15 split on his first major release. Yeah. Because they had already put out 25, 30 albums before the label.
And they really had it something built.
Now all the label will just take a piece of what you got and be happy. Yeah. They'd rather take 100% or 80% of a grape instead of 2% of a watermelon. It gets to a point where okay, I just want in with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. So. But when you talk about organic and real things, as far as like my situation, I mean, I knew Gucci Mane just for being in Atlanta, moving around. So put a call out, he came through and did the record. We put a song out on the mixtapes before we put the song out that was on the major. Like Love for Money was like a big song. It was on TV and radio and all that. But we put out a song called Smoke on mixtapes. Just did it for free and threw it out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
Wow. So another question is on the business. So like I always see features. I always wonder like how do you guys get paid off as like a song like that? Like once it goes,
it's your publishing. However your publishing is set up.
Okay.
So you got royalties, you got mechanical royalties, you got publishing, you got all these different income streams from a single release.
Okay.
Depends on how your paperwork is set up. You know what I mean? Some guys you probably never heard of before got the boat and the Ferrari and the helicopter and the house on the water because he got his publishing set up. He didn't. You never heard of him before. He probably wrote the song or put a thing together, but the paperwork read in his favor, so he's set for life.
Wow.
Because that's why Jay-Z was preaching recently, own your masters, own your masters, own your masters, because your children be able to eat from that. And I set that foundation up for myself a long time ago. Nobody owns any of my music. I get 100% ownership of all my music.
Wow.
When you sign to like a major, of course the major take their splits and stuff like that, but I only dropped one major album. Every other song you heard from me, I own that song 100% outright. The writing of that song. Now, if it's a contributing writer who wrote a hook or had a verse on it, then that portion is his. Yeah. He can go, he or she can always go claim that as their publishing. But the ownership of these masters for these records, I own all of mine. Wow. 100%. Other than that major album that he probably heard in middle school. Yeah. Other than that one, because I was signed to Warner. But other than that, every and anything else you ever heard me do ever. I own it 100%.
So after that, was that like a one album deal? You kind of were like, I don't like it, or
it was a one album deal. Yeah. Actually, I tried to not drop that one, but I had an obligation to drop it, so we just threw it out. I didn't like the direction things were going in. I didn't like it, because they were trying to have me do music that wasn't organic to my experience or organic to the sound I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like I like working independently on my own more than I like coming up here and meeting these quotas and shit. I didn't like the way it felt. Right. It didn't feel like art anymore. It felt like business. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like it. I'm like a true artist, so I get really passionate about anything that disturbs the process, the creative process. So they said, well, you gotta at least do one album. Do I really? Yeah, all right, fuck it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
So just put it out. You know what I'm saying? Never look back. I don't even play that album. You know what I'm saying? I don't even play it, honestly.
So like talking about the albums, and you got a long discography. Is there any projects in particular that you look back at and they mean more to you than the other ones?
Nah, it's like asking a parent and then your favorite kid. You know what I'm saying? It's just,
we're all lucky to have a favorite though, right?
Yeah, come on.
They say that. They say that. But he look like your ugly ass wife. You know what I'm saying? So you don't like him. You know what I'm saying? But then she was like your grandmother, so you love her. I mean, there's reasons why you like and dislike and favor and don't favor. But ultimately, I've had the privilege and the honor of having these like really intimate moments with every album I've ever created. I can recall stories about every album I've ever made. Like no album I ever did was just like, all right, except for the one we're gonna talk about. Yeah. Other than that, every album came from a circumstance or it came from something that was going on. I just felt compelled to make the music. So I mean, the whole Fly trilogy is dope. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. I shot a movie here in Grand Rapids for that. I think that was 2013, 14.
You always been showing love to the city. Outside of this, you come back
man.
and just...
Come on, man. Again, the first time I put a song out back in a major, like a broad release, back in 2006, the first thing I said was, Grand Rapids. I repped it. Yeah. The video you're talking about with me and Trey Songz and Gucci Mane and Flo Rida and all these guys, I have a sweater on that has all of the streets from the southeast, the main thoroughfares from the southeast side on the sweater. Wow. It's Eastern, it's Divisions, all these Franklins, these main streets on the sweater. You know what I'm saying? Like, then I came home and did a show and I put all of the corner stores on the shirt. Reardon's, Fanny's, Tracy's. I put all of the stores on the shirt. Like, I've always rapped the town. That's why when we first opened this interview, I'm probably the reason why everybody's brave enough to say I'm from Grand Rapids. In these spaces I'm talking about. I ain't talking about you got a job working at Steelcase. I'm talking about if you going to no, that's iconic. But if you're going to a creative avenue, especially outside of Grand Rapids, you're gonna say Detroit. If it wasn't for me, you know what I mean? Or if somebody don't correct, if somebody say you don't correct them. Where you from? Michigan? Oh, Detroit, that's what's up. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah. Nah. So we were correcting people. That's funny as fuck. You know what I mean? All love to Detroit, but we were always making people like, okay, Michigan? Yeah, Michigan. Detroit? Nah, Grand Rapids. Yeah. And then you got to do the whole thumb thing, and we show them the mitten, and you say, you got to do that whole thing. But yeah, man.
So prior to you and your brother, I know that like around that time that you guys started making music, there were like battle rap was more prominent in these areas. Was there any artists before you and your brother came on the scene that you guys looked to that were from Grand Rapids?
Look to? What do you mean? That's loaded. Look to.
Like artists that you guys were listening for, like bumping in the city. There wasn't really anyone.
I knew a lot of rappers in the city, and I respected a lot of rappers in the city.
Individually,
they didn't make the playlist. But
they didn't make me go, oh man, I gotta get like him. I get on his level. I always set the bar. You know what I'm saying? And you can add, and they'll probably tell you that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I always set the bar as far as being the lyricist and being the artist and packaging my product and pushing it out and making something of myself out here. Yeah, I know a lot of great artists out of the town, and shout out to a lot of the great artists, but I never looked to them to.
I about to say you basically a living legend when it comes to like GR, but just even what you've been doing. Like, like we're saying here like a living legend. I'm not just saying to gas you up, but like when you think about,
I appreciate it.
Like what you even from your brother, like your family, right? Like that's legacy right there. Like
for sure,
he owns his masters, right? I have all the young rappers that listen to this podcast right now. We got a lot of them.
Right,
they quick to go sign any deal, go buy any.
Because they have to.
You know what I'm saying?
Because they feel like they have to. Imagine you being 16, 17 years old, you about to get out of high school, you don't know what you're going to do after high school, living with your moms, you know what I'm saying? You're a kid, right? You don't know what you're going to do. You on Instagram all day, all you see is gold chains and diamonds and cars and shit, girls and shit. But that's all, you 16 years old, and your mom young, you take the trash out, and this is all you see. You know what I mean? She coming in yelling at you, do the dishes and shit. You know what I mean? You want to get some Yeezys, you want to get a Rolex, and it's all you see. And somebody come and say, "Hey man, that song you just put on the Instagram, I like that song. Give me 10 more of those songs, and I'll make you famous." And then you where do I sign?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's a desperation.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But
that's that fear, right?
Yeah, that fear. Yeah. But little do you know, and it's the kicker. Everybody don't have the means. To go do it themselves. So people say, oh, I get a 360, I ain't sending my masters away, and da-da-da-da. That's not a bad thing for everybody, man. Yeah. Certain people it may be. Yeah. Like if you ask an artist like myself or an artist like a namely person to go do that, that's ludicrous. Yeah. But a young guy who's living in Holland, you know what I'm saying, for instance... shout out to Holland, but I'm just saying, he has no...
If he don't do this, then it's...
Bro, he's never gonna be a rapper. Yeah. But if he put a song out and he's doing his thing and he's on Facebook and he's on SoundCloud and TuneCore, and somebody calls them from New York City and says, I'm gonna fly you up here, make you rich and famous, and change your life.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is give me complete ownership of your masters and your life and your earning potential. Sign this dotted line. It's either that or go get
stay
in Holland
Yeah.
and work at the mall. And I'm not dissing working at the mall. I'm not dissing nothing. I'm just saying these are the realities. So we gotta be quick before we judge these young boys for signing these 360 deals. Are they being plagued upon? Yes, they are. Are they being taken advantage of? Yes, they are.
Wow.
Do all of them have the means to hire a lawyer and get the paperwork scrutinized? No, they don't. Do all of them have the mental, cognitive, business acumen to look at it the right
16,
way?
17? No,
They don't. So
Right.
is it a fucked up situation? Yeah, it is. But in return, these guys get rich and famous. They get to travel and tour and wear jewelry and get to hang out with the girls and pop out. They get to live a life. And I'm not saying that everybody's going to be Willie the Kid or Jay-Z or Rick Ross or Big. Some people are just going to have their moment. And hopefully by the grace of God be able to use that opportunity to do something else later. And those are the conversations that we're not having with the young folks. Let's say you do sign a 360, okay, your earning potential is not the best in the music. But you're gonna get so famous and meet so many people, you can spin off music and do something else.
Yeah, real. Eat off that.
It's real.
Forever. Like your music shit may be in the toilet bowl as far as the earning potential. Okay, so what? But you're famous as hell. Take the fame, take the money you did receive, and go open a business back in your hometown. Or go find another artist and help him do better than what you did. Like, there's opportunities. Before you want to do is get high, get drunk, and party, and then look up broke and blame the label after that. Then that's a whole nother conversation.
Wow. So talk about. I want to shift gears into the business side, right? Like your business mind, and the first thing I want to ask you is like, how much you talk about your crew, your circle, people you've been around. Like as you were growing, getting famous, like how was that? And like, did you ever feel like, what do they call it, like survivor's guilt, whatever they try to like, what do they call it? Because like sometimes like as if I've grown past a lot of my friends and I get to a certain income, and I'm young, right? Like I'm losing not really losing, but I just kind of like feel like just two different paths.
It is.
And it's like, how did you handle that?
It is. And
like, how did you accept that? Because sometimes you start feeling bad and like you feel like a lot of pressure to help people, but you're like, I can't want it more than you, man.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. If I get too deep in that, I'm gonna lose even more friends if I get too deep in that. But I will say this: it's a real thing. It's a real thing. Okay. And what I've tried to do, to the best of my ability, is keep the people who are important. And who I know have my best interests, and who I know got genuine love and support, I keep them around, and I go the extra mile to make sure I keep them around me. Because not only do I need their support, but I want to be able to reciprocate and do things for them too. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you look at what's going on as far as business in Grand Rapids, one of my closest business partners is Jonathan Jokes. He was a key person to help me grow my music empire. So he's still with me today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I put his birthday just passed.
Shout out to John.
I put a post on my Instagram. And I said, I remember we used to get up in the crack of dawn and email all of the blog sites to post my music. Me and him would do that. We created a whole nother third-party email address, and he would get on there and just every morning, bro, I got Rap Radar to post. Bro, I got Not Right to post. Bro, hey, got that DJ number? Hey, hit him. And we get up in the morning and we just attack the internet all day and get back on the phone that afternoon and say, what you got? That same grind, that same person is the guy who I'm opening the bar with downtown among my other partners. And the same guy I'm doing the spirits company with. You know what I mean? The same guy I own this tech company with. Like, so to your question, I try to prevent losing the people who I care about. You know what I'm saying? I go an extra mile, that when I start to grow and I start to expand, the same people that helped me get here are going to be with me when I go there. You know what I'm saying? But everybody won't make it because that's just the reality of it all. But I know, and I sleep well every single night because of this. If there's anybody, friend or otherwise, that has a problem with me growing and doing well, I know it wasn't my fault. I've always made myself easy to love and easy to be accessed. And I had the same phone number for 20 years, bro. I've been in the same place as far as being approachable and being open for, whether it may be business or just camaraderie. I make it my business to make sure I do that. So if anybody got a problem with me growing and expanding and they feel like they feel a way about that, it's not my fault. 9.99999 times out of 10. And if it is, it was a misunderstanding because I make it my business to do right by my people, man. I make that a priority. So go back to the business. So what was your first GR business outside of music?
Like, what was like the first one you did?
Outside of music, probably GRUSA was probably the most notable one.
Wow. When did that?
We launched that in end of 14.
Wow.
End of 14.
So, you know, like you said, like, what made you want to get into like the hat game and like, or just overall just giving GR something to like, because if my business brain like, yo, GR needed something.
Heck yeah.
That we can put on something.
Bro, I used to get off the plane and be at Gerald R. Ford and you look in the gift shop.
Yeah.
And there's a whole bunch of Detroit Tiger stuff, and you see West Michigan coast, the West.
Oh yeah,
Lake
Third
Shore
Coast,
shit.
Lake Shore.
Talking Grand Rapids, man. Like, just say Grand Rapids, man. Like, what's up with all this indirect? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I keep saying, and it's a common thread in this interview today. I'm the reason why a lot of pride is here right now, bro.
Yeah.
The fucking merchandisers were afraid to put Grand Rapids on the T-shirt.
Wow.
Bro, I used to go up the plane. There was no Grand Rapids merch anywhere.
Yeah.
It would say Michigan's West Coast and all that kind of stupid ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but don't nothing say Grand Rapids on it though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you see stuff for Michigan, Mitten State, this and this, that, and the third. You will see Michigan stuff. You will see Detroit stuff.
Yeah.
There was no Grand Rapids merch.
Yeah.
Less than 10 years ago in this town. We're in a new decade, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
no
that shit crazy.
Michigan, no Grand Rapids merch anywhere. So what I was doing to combat that, there was a couple people who did like one-offs. You see a little stuff sprinkled here and there, but no mainstream merchandising. I mean, so I want to shout out to people who were attempting, but no mainstream accepted merch for that. What I would do is I make my own personal stuff.
Yeah.
I was saying about that shirt that had the street names on it. That was like the first GRUSA product.
Yeah.
I just did one for me though.
Yeah.
And I did another one for me though. And I did a hat that had the Calder logo on it, and we put like Stingray High underneath it. It was like a designer hat.
Oh wow.
But it was the first. Those were the first like prototypes for GRUSA. I was making them for me for photo shoots, video shoots, parties. I was just styling in Grand Rapids shit. You know what I'm saying? So I get like a white caps hat and I'll freaking and put something on the side, stuff like that. And back to jokes. He was like, yo, bro, you should sell those. Stop just wearing it for yourself. Like, make it for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, I ain't doing that. I don't want to get in the merchandising business. He's like, yeah, I'm telling you, bro. Because when you wear it, everybody asks you, yo, what is that? How can I get that? Where'd you get that from? And he's right. They used to always ask me, how can I get one? Where'd you buy that at? He said, don't you know they trying to give you money for the shit you making? I'm like, nah, I'm straight. I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it because I want to rep the town.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if those things were already here, I would be wearing that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I had to make it by default because it wasn't here. So he's like, I'm telling you, bro, I'm telling you. So he kept calling me about it, every time we talk. He said, yo, you got to do the merch. I said, all right, man, fuck it, let's do the merch. So we put our minds together, put a marketing plan together, and took the influence that he had over the city and, you know, all these different tiers in the city. He was an instrumental person in his town. So he took that opportunity to be there, and I'm instrumental outside of the town from what I do in entertainment. So yo, let's just combine minds, man, and come up with a product. You know what I'm saying? So came up with GRUSA. We started putting the flags on the things, and we went crazy, man. We dropped, these run off, they sell out in like 2 days. And, you know, a lot of we got with a lot of the mom and pop stores to keep everything local. So we didn't want to necessarily chase down lids and chase down these big stores and all that. We don't do mom and pop. So we had ACK, Denim, Slate. Unfortunately, a lot of those stores they're not here anymore, which affects our impact on the community. But it was about just making products for Grand Rapids that were made in Grand Rapids to be sold at Grand Rapids vendors. We split the money with them, and everybody wins. And then at the same time, the town has their own things that they can wear. You know what I'm saying? It says Grand Rapids and not the Michigan's West Coast on it and shit like that.
Yeah,
you know
and like specifically too, you guys would put like landmarks and stuff, like you're talking about Calder, like putting that on a hat. Yeah. Like stuff like it wasn't just like Grand Rapids and then Double XL or whatever those shirts used to say back in the day.
All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The one thing we knew at the end of the day is a bunch of pride in the city. We know that. Yeah. If you're from Grand Rapids, you love Grand Rapids. Even if you don't want to admit it.
You
know what I'm saying?
Even if you're not vocal about it.
If you're not vocal about it, you know the Grand Rapids. You know you like that shit. So you know what I mean? So we tapped into that and, you know, brought that pride back to the town, man. Yeah. So now you see all kind of Grand Rapids merchandise and clothes and shit coming out. You see all these, because we let them know, we let the community know it's possible. Right. Yeah. And don't be ashamed of it and don't be afraid to take that leap as a business person as well. You know what I'm saying? So now there's a market for Grand Rapids merchandise. You know what I'm saying? So, fuck that, man. Rap. Rapid City, bro.
You got a question?
Yeah, I got one.
Okay, go ahead.
So jumping back into the music game, you mentioned Gucci Mane, and there's the list of artists that you work with is crazy, like Rock Marciano, all them boys. Is there any specific ones that when you two or however many people got in the studio, like you just felt like this real connection and you have like real distinct memories from?
Yeah, the producers. You know, like I like a lot of my products, my projects are one producer, one artist projects. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of them is just like me and the producer just getting busy. You know what I'm saying? So I connect with the producers, like me and Alchemist, and me and V Dawn, and me and Brady James, and these are my guys. Me and my man Soup. Like, you know what I mean? Damn near all my, you go on Apple Music or Spotify or Tidal, about 80% of those albums is just me and the producer. You know what I'm saying? I prefer to work in that capacity. You know what I'm saying? So the connection with the producers is always solid. I feel like the producer is providing something that I'm not providing. Another rapper is just gonna be another rendition of me rapping. You know what I'm saying? but a producer is, his contribution is way more valuable. Than the rest. It's redundant to have me on this shit twice. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Let's
like,
put it like that. But
scientifically, I'm saying. Like, you know, of course, it's not the same, but. Ultimately, if it was just me and another rapper and we had no producer to make the beats, then what is that? You know what I'm saying?
Sitting there.
Y'all just kind of, sitting there.
You know what I'm saying? So the producer is always more important to me. You know what I'm saying? Then what the producer does for me as well is it's inspirational. I'm a guy, I thrive off inspiration. I can't just create on spot. Like rap right now, I write a song right now, I can. I prefer not to, especially when I don't have to. I'd rather have the music and go into a space. Take me to a place, bro. Right. And when that happens, again, it's divine. The song comes to me like this fast.
Wow.
I can listen to some music and I be like, okay, cool. But when the right beat come on, the song kind of writes itself.
Wow.
Like I'll sit and write a whole record, 30 minutes, man. It is just.
That's crazy because you go
because of the production.
Your punchline she be saying 30 minutes. That's crazy.
Quick.
Yeah.
Quick.
Do you write or this off the dome?
I definitely write.
Okay, I was about to say shit. You weren't writing that shit. I'm like, damn, how you remember what you said?
Now
3 bars ago.
There's certain songs I can show you where I didn't write. That I kind of just went in the booth. I turn the beat on. I just like there's an album called Filthy Money. Me and my man S-Class Sonny did. And it's kind of got more up tempo, trappy kind of sound to it. A lot of those songs I freestyle a lot of those songs. Wow. I just went in the booth you know. How
does that work? So is it like you freestyle 2 lines and then you just cut out the in betweens?
Yeah, like what I do is like I use that album as an example. I just say, all right, turn the beat on, and I go in the booth and I just be like, all right, and I just start going, bam, man, and then till I fuck up or something, right? And I say, all right, stop, and I play that back, listen to it, okay. I go ahead and I punch in and jump right in that spot right there.
So just like brick by brick, you just building the song.
Brick by brick, you just building the song. Or I'll just like do the whole thing, and then come out the booth and play it. And so okay, I'm gonna just take that part, and then write it down and make it a song. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I like when I said that, and I write those little key parts down. Or I just say, yo, this whole shit ain't good enough, but I do like that part. So now that's the hook now. So that's the chorus. That one part I just said. You know what I'm saying? That'd be the chorus.
Yeah.
But that's when I do that. I don't, to answer your question, bro, I don't do that a lot. Yeah. I sit down with the beat and I write the song. Like I write it. I get into it. I write the shit. I put it in my phone, actually. I don't write it, but I create that way, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
So leading, sorry, go back to business.
We're jumping around.
We're going back and forth.
It's all good.
The spirits. So, you know, I've seen a lot of, you know, music or entertainment people get into it, right? Like the liquor and whatnot. And like, you know, you go try these liquors, right? And this, they ain't paying me to say this, y'all. But like, you start trying these liquors, you're like, all right, bro. Like, you know, and I believe this to be true. When you have a brand, when you build something over years, like, you got to be careful. Because it's like, just because whatever the deal look like, whatever the quick time, short money, you put your name behind something, I go try it, it's not good, then like I'm not gonna buy your
value
liquor,
goes down.
Like Diddy was lucky that, you know, not lucky, but like Ciroc was good and people liked it, and like, you know, I think it's definitely more clout and branding game for him. But like it worked, right? But then you start to see some other like other people's drink, you like, bro, that's not good. You know, when John hit me up, I was like, yo, we started with 02, we got the brute, and then we're gonna work on the vodka. Like, you know, I've been really impressed. Not saying you need that from me to continue to go to build, but like I was telling him and Jamil, I was like, yo, this gonna go because like it tastes good, and the branding looks nice. Like just off that, like you know, with your lightness too, let's only do bigger and better. And like guys, they just did a launch party. What day was that? Friday.
Friday.
Crazy. first time trying that corn-based vodka, and like,
It's
I
delicious.
It was delicious. I didn't know what to expect.
By itself,
I didn't know what to
Good
expect.
shit, man.
I was like, man, I hope this don't taste like vodka because I'm not a liar, bro. And John's gonna ask me how it tastes, and I'm gonna get handled outside because I said it was trash. But that shit was good. You know what I'm saying? Right? I was like, shit, good. Give me another one. And then it's just like
they was giving that shit to me straight.
Yeah. And after
I was drinking straight too.
Yo, and when I didn't know, that shit hit. Because I was, after a couple of drinks, I was like, yo, I gotta chill out.
Kind of leaning, right?
And I get hot, I gotta take my coat off.
Yeah.
I was getting hot and shit. I was like, yo, we had long. I gotta, and I started talking to people too much. And, you know what I'm saying? But like, it was good. And I was like, man, I was telling John, I was like, yo, proud, because like, this shit's really good. And like, I'm gonna actually buy this shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Just because I like it.
Did you come to the brunch for the brunch?
Yeah, I was at the brunch too, and that brunch was crazy.
Come on, man.
But he told me that, like, the bottles weren't ready yet.
Right.
But like, what you guys did have, man, that brunch was on the rooftop, Hotel Mertens.
That's probably one of the flyest
That's what
events I've ever seen in Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
Hands down. That's like one of the flyest events I've ever
I think
seen
everyone was there,
city,
like, all different parts of the city.
Yeah, Mary Bliss came out.
Yeah.
Got the mic, gave a speech,
Yeah.
supported the group, you know what I'm saying? The
Crazy.
community was, all sides of the community was there, all kinds of people were there. It was great, man.
You know what's funniest thing too? Because people hit me like, "Oh, bro, like they're like, where you at? Why didn't I get invited?" I'm like, "Bro, it's Grand Rapids. It's like we're on the other side of town.
Exactly.
You know where we at?
You know where we at.
Like, pull up. Stop being weird.
Stop
but
being
like,
weird.
but like,
I gotta get that on the t-shirt. Stop being weird.
Bro, my beast. All these people acting weird in the
Stop
city.
being weird. But nah, Motu is unique because, and I emphasize the word unique. Like, you see artists, you see business people that go out and they secure these spirit situations and they become like ambassadors and they speak on behalf of the company, so they invest in the company and then it grows with them, things like that.
Yeah.
Motu Vijay is unique because Motu Vijay Spirits is our company.
Yeah.
So the products are our products. You know what I mean? It's kind of like having Coca-Cola. So you got Minute Maid, you got Frito-Lay, you got these things. Motu Vijay is just an auspice that everything hangs underneath. So we're not ambassadors for Avani Supreme Vodka. We're not spokespeople for Motu Vijay Spirits Brew.
Yeah.
Like, we are the company who put out these products. You know what I'm saying?
You own the masters in the liquor game too.
In the liquor game too. So we have partners that do, bottling and production for us, of course. So shout out to St. Julian, who's our partner for bottling and production for the brew, and shout out to Long Road, because they're our partner for the Avani Vodka. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, Motu Vijay Spirits, we're not ambassadors. We're not.
Right.
There's no influencer program.
It's not an influencer program. Like, we own the company, that markets and distributes these products. So to me, that's very unique, unlike anybody I've ever seen before come out of the entertainment space and get involved in the business. Not that no one else could have done. I think Jay-Z owns the Gold Bottle thing. He owns that. And they own Duce too. Yeah. But other than that, nobody played the game quite like this. And another thing too, we have a unique niche because we're based out of West Michigan. We have no competition here.
Zero.
And we are the ones. We are the world. We are the children. You know what I'm saying? Like, Motu Vijay Spirits is the one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and when I say competition, I mean there's no other startups like Motu Vijay Spirits. You got the big names in the craft industry, of course, but there's no startups that's taking this approach to the business model the way that we are, man. Yeah. It's a really exciting thing. And again, it goes right back to Grand Rapids, right back to West Michigan, back to the community. So,
and you keep investing in the city, man. Like,
right.
The more I talk to you, like, and I see the moves, but like, seeing that it's authentic, like, is even like, inspires me to like, yo, maybe I should think more about,
get your head going.
Yeah, like, be more purposeful in what I'm doing.
That's why it works, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
If you're true to it, it's gonna work, bro. I can attest to that. If you're being really true about what it is you're doing, it's gonna work, man.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's great. That's gems right there.
That's hella gems, man.
Yeah. So jump back on the music tip. We'll just ping pong right back and forth. Talking about like the artists that are up and coming nowadays. Is there? I know you said you listen to a lot of the old school music that you grew up to still. Yeah. Is there any artists nowadays that are on the rise now that you listen to and that make the playlist?
Yeah, man. It's a lot of guys, man. When I get this question, I always draw a blank, man. There's a lot of guys.
Thoughts on Drake?
Man. Huh?
Thoughts on Drake?
He's go down the list. Nah, Drake's got thoughts on Willie, man. I remember back in the day, man, seeing that shit on my Twitter feed.
For sure.
Crazy.
For sure, yeah. Drake quoted my raps and put them on Twitter and stuff like that. Yeah, man. Shout out to Drake, man. Crazy. Yeah, I like a lot of talent here in Grand Rapids. I like AGO. I like what they doing. Mm-hmm. I like
real unique sound.
I like Waldo and them. I like Juice. I like all those guys.
The whole team.
Sango, of course. I like all those guys. You know what I'm saying? Amos is my guy. Amos, I just left a meeting with Amos today, just today.
Amos is cool, man. So he's cool people.
We're gonna look out for some, some moves. We're gonna link up with them brothers. Yeah, them my people. Yeah. Got up Speedy out of Grand Rapids. That's my man. If y'all ever heard him before?
No, I haven't heard of Speedy. No.
Look him up, man. Look him up.
Right, this is my notes.
He's a voice for the city. You know what I'm saying? Look up Speedy. That's my man. You know what I'm saying? Guapped up. He the first artist even before me to put Motu Vijay on the album cover. You know what I'm saying? Put the Brute on the album cover. Yeah.
Wow. That's what's up.
Before me. So check out for Speedy. He coming up out of the town. Who else? I like Cheesy Scott. That's my man. Coming up out the town.
Said Cheesy Scott?
Yeah, I like Cheesy.
You still plugged in with the music around here.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah. Hell yeah. Those are the guys that come to mind. The whole AGO movement, my man Speedy and my man Cheesy. You know what I'm saying? Them my guys. You know what I'm saying?
What about outside of the city?
Like I got local artists outside the city?
No, just artists in general in the game right now that you're listening to.
Who should we looking out for? Who you should look up real quick?
I gotta imagine that you're in tune with the dudes from Buffalo, Griselda, that whole
definitely.
movement.
Yeah. I like Griselda. I like that they're pushing that
bringing the sound back.
Not even bringing it back. Not bringing it back because it ain't went nowhere. I make the sound. My man Rock Marcy make the sound. Yeah. Like there's a lot of guys make it. Action Bronson make like a lot of guys make the sound.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they're knocking on the mainstream door and telling the mainstream to accept the sound. Yeah. I like that a lot, and I appreciate them for doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, they're not bringing the sound back. We just never stop making it. Y'all just not paying attention. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I appreciate them pushing that mainstream agenda with the sound. So yeah, definitely down with them. My man Ito, he's out of Rochester, which is like neighboring to Buffalo. We got an album called Have the Gray together. Me, him, and my man V Don. V Don's that's my close friend, producer. He's my favorite producer. You know what I'm saying? He's a wizard. And if you haven't heard of him, look up his catalog, V Don, VDON. He's the best. You know what I'm saying? He's the best. And then my man Rock Marcy, of course, that's my brother. You know what I'm saying? He's one
of the best albums of last year.
Yeah. He's a shining star among these conversations that we have. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the few guys that really inspired me to, get up and create the best shit.
Yeah.
It's a lot of guys, man. I always draw a blank on this question, but yeah, man.
Yeah.
If I got records with them and you see me in pictures with them, then those guys. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
Yeah. Was there any moments coming up where you were in rooms or did tracks even with artists that you listened to growing up that were like, it felt like you were dreaming type moments? No?
No.
You just felt comfortable in those rooms?
Yep.
I told you it wasn't by accident, bro.
Yeah, I never got I never got fanned out. Like, oh my God, I'm in a room with such and such. No. Like, nah, man. Yeah, come on, man. Never. I was more excited about the like making the music. Hell yeah, I was geeked about making some dope shit, which I'm always excited about that. But I was like, I can't believe I'm in the studio with this guy right now. Like, nah, man. But excited about making.
Okay, Sam, you can get excited.
I mean, shit, I be.
But excited about making the music. Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah. Definitely. I think when I did Masterpiece Theater with Alchemist, that was very exciting. I wasn't starstruck to meet Alchemist, but I was excited that we were making this dope ass music. Like that was. I had Action Bronson in the studio and Rock Marcy in the studio while I was making that album.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was doing Halal Tuna and Action Bronson came to me like, yo, this is the one, whispered in my ear while I'm writing the record. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so those moments, I wasn't starstruck to be there, but I was excited about the process.
The moment,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
is there anybody you want to do a song with that you haven't done a song with yet? Or that maybe they have passed or whatever, or no?
Yeah, I wish I could have got some music in with Jay Dilla, man. God bless his soul. I wish I could have created some music right here in Michigan. I'd have drove to Detroit and did it in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? I would have loved that.
Yeah.
And then with the Pizza Populous and then with the Astoria Bakery and got a cannoli. I'd have been downtown. Yeah. I'd have been in Greektown. I'd have booked the Airbnb downtown and just worked with Dilla for a few days. I would have loved to do that. I'd have loved it. You know what I'm saying? Like that would have been great. You know what I'm saying? That'd have been awesome. Like,
that's crazy when you say these names and like he's like, yo, like.
Yeah.
And you're like part of it, right? Because we hear the conversation, that's like crazy. Like,
for us, it's a lot of like back research, right? Like a lot of the music came out before we were even born, you know. So like, but it's interesting to hear you say like, it's like the soundtrack to your life.
Currently, I would like to work with like Drake would be dope because Drake goes into these like we do the rap thing he do.
Yeah,
it'd be good to spar and that. And they can sing the hook and then we have a number one record. It'd be dope. You know, I want to work with Future too. That'd be dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
I'm a big Future fan. Like, huge.
100.
Like,
what you think of that new track? That
came out. Him and Drake.
What you think?
The video's so fire.
The video's so.
I ain't even get a chance to appreciate the song. The video had me stuck.
Yo, I feel like the video's deep, bro. I think they say messages to it.
There's layers to that shit.
Sam was trying to tell me, nah, bro, I'm thinking too deep.
Yo, the video is so fire. The video's so fire. I had to go back and play the song without the video to appreciate the song. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit was fire, bro.
That shit's been on repeat.
But yeah, like
2 times.
Like that. Like all I play other than like older records, if it's something current, it's gonna be like Nipsey, God bless, Drake, Future, and Rock Marciano. That's all I play, like new.
Yeah, new.
And Rick Ross. When Rick Ross released, I listen to his music. Ross.
Yo, Ross been hard, bro.
Yeah,
and
Ross,
I don't even know why people don't
Rock
even talk.
Marcy, Nip, God bless, Drake, and Future. That's all. That's the only new music I play. Like I play. I listen to everything when it comes out. I play everybody. I give everybody album one spin.
Yeah.
Respect.
I spin everybody's shit one time and check it out. You know what I'm saying? But the only albums artists I run back are those 5 artists, other than older music. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
So, do you giving out girls APs and claiming too, like Future be doing?
Giving out AP? No. I give you a job.
I give you a job.
I'm gonna buy you an AP. You know what I'm saying? I do that. You know what I'm saying?
I give you a job. Do you have any kids or anything like that? No.
Yeah.
How many kids?
One son.
One son?
Yeah,
so you got some legacy. That's dope.
Yeah.
His name Willie too or not?
His name is Willie. Yeah, he's a prince, man.
So I be debating if I want to have kids or not, but if I do have a kid, I do have a son. I'm giving Vince.
You giving him the name?
Yeah, that's easy, bro.
Yeah, it's Willie, and my dad's Willie, and my dad's dad is Willie, and my mother's grandfather is Willie, and then then my son's mother's grandfather is Willie. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so so I told him his son gotta be named Willie. You got no choice. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do it.
You gotta keep it going.
The straight A student, man. You know, it's an honor in the gifted program and all that. You know what I'm saying? He's a star.
Is he in the city or he's
Nah, he's not Grand Rapids.
Okay.
Nah, he's out of the city. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't wait to see what he do with all his opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
Are you gonna let him get in the music game if he wants to?
I'm not putting that on him, and I'm not suggesting that he does that.
Yeah.
But he has a natural talent for music. He'll come in and rap right now. So I'm betting a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
Yo, please, because sometimes I don't want to be a hater, but I be hearing people. I'm like, bro,
my son really can rap.
It's not it, G.
But I don't encourage him to be.
You don't want to push it on him.
I don't want not at all because there's so much more. And that's the reason why I don't do music only. Like I do so much other things because there's so much more opportunity, so much. You know what I'm saying? We're producing a PBS documentary on Langston Hughes, a 2-part documentary with Kevin Wilmot, who won an Academy Award with Spike Lee.
Yeah.
Like not any old rapper can do that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? There's so much opportunity and so much talent among me and my team that I would never just put my own son to be just limited to being a rapper. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That seemed like almost beneath.
Yeah.
There's much more.
It's much more out here. Than being
you already been there and did that, right?
Right.
Not except as an own man, like I think the same concept goes in sports. Like just because your dad's LeBron don't mean you got to play ball.
Exactly.
But if you want to take it,
if you want to do it,
but then just know what that comes with too.
Right.
You LeBron's dad.
But LeBron being your dad can help you out a lot if you really want to take me. If my son ever came and said I want to do music, I'll help him. Yeah. But I would never put that on him, and I would always encourage him to do much more than that. You know what I'm saying? Because this is like at this point, man, that shit is like it's easy. Yeah. Compared to so much other things.
It's like what's next, right?
And
him seeing you do all these businesses.
Let's start a spirits company. That's not easy.
That's
you know what I'm
easy.
saying? Let's get the whole town to come out and try it on a Friday night in the snow. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not easy.
Blizzard.
In a fucking blizzard. You know what I'm saying? Let's do that. Let's have Martha's and Ricci's and Bridge Street Meyer. It's not easy to do. Like let's do the impossible. You know what I'm saying? Let's do that.
So you've been kind of like with that, like not being afraid of anything has been kind of a theme throughout this conversation. But for the younger kids listening, not necessarily the ones that want to get into music or anything like that.
Yeah.
What kind of OG advice would you give to some of these young guns?
There's so many Jews, man. Play my album here, tons of them. But
play my album.
But just to say off top, try to think of a good nugget that can stick with them. Be yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like know what's true to you. You know what I'm saying? And pursue that. You know what I'm saying? Another thing I would encourage too, beyond that, like I don't want to sound weird, but gain a relationship with the Lord, man. Like for real, man. Gain a spiritual relationship, and if you don't have a spiritual relationship, find it somewhere, some kind of way. Get some understanding of something greater than yourself. It's gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know tell you what to do and how to do it and who to believe in and all that. Yeah. But develop some spirituality somewhere, somehow, some version of spirituality. Yeah. Develop that. It's gonna help you, man. Because as soon as you step outside, the world just starts pulling you the fuck apart. Everything starts pulling at you. And start breaking you down. Like, as soon as you go outside, as soon as you try anything, shit just starts you're under attack, man. Like, you ever see that movie Total Recall, Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day? You ever see that? It's an older movie, like the 90s, early 90s.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
he went through this, he went to Mars.
Yeah, okay.
And the atmosphere in Mars was so harsh that they all lived under these underneath they built the city on Mars. Okay. But the city was under a bubble.
Okay, that makes sense.
So if you go outside of there, the atmosphere was so harsh, it just like deteriorates you. Oh, wow. I feel like that's what happens when you try to pursue anything, man. Like any fucking thing. Like when you soon you take one step forward, here comes all of the shit, all of the doubt, all of the pressure, everything, all of the comments, all of the you ain't gonna make it, all of the hard shit that come with it, all of the self doubt, all of the pain, all of the disappointment. Here it comes like a fucking monsoon of the shit. You know what I'm saying?
You still got to do too. I always tell you still got to do it.
You still got to do it.
As soon as you walk out, you ready to get hit, and then you still got to do it, and that's hard.
Bro, and you still got to get up after you get knocked down and get up and do it again. You have to sort of build an immunity to that shit, man. You have to embrace it. Like, nigga, this part of the process.
Yeah, it's probably and like
this comes with this. You know what I'm saying? So I would just say a way, not the way, because everybody got their ways. A way that worked for me is spirituality, man. Like believing in God and being confident in the connection with something greater than yourself. It'll help you combat all that shit, because that shit's coming, bro. Yeah, it's on the way.
Whether you're ready or not.
I'm talking about, bro. And the higher you get, the more of it, comes to play, and it pulls at everything that you deem important. You know what I'm saying? It'll pull you down. You know what I'm saying? And it will. And it people, comments, energy, things, whatever. It's coming for you. And just the natural challenges of doing something. It's just naturally, with the restaurant. It's not easy.
I mean, that's like, I always thought that's the hardest thing I ever done was open a restaurant. I was 19, 20.
Come on.
And I look back, I don't regret anything that I do, because I think, life is supposed to happen away, right? And then you can be defeated by it, or you can find a way out. But when I think about it, I was like, shit, like, I ain't know how to open a restaurant, but like, it just felt right. And I always tell people too, like, you gotta believe in something. That's crazy, because like, shit get hard, bro. Shit, man. So you got, obviously you gotta believe in God, but like, believe yourself, believe in a
whatever.
rock, believe in that dog,
I don't know,
believe in that grass. But like,
I don't know what you want to hold on to, but find you something.
To me, it's scary when you don't believe in that. It's scary, because I'm like, so what is it for you?
What is it for you?
Where do
you go get your energy from?
Yeah, how you get filled back up, man?
How do you get filled back up? Like, where do you go to get filled back up? You know what I'm saying? And
then, or you can't pour back into somebody. So then when you talk about, right, then we can't do business, or we can't read, because then you can only, we talk about Bible story, we talk about Judas. That's only gonna happen to me if I'm around you.
Yeah, exactly. And then speaking of that, another piece I would leave with the young folks is put the right people around you, man. And as much as you put the right people around you, what I'm gonna say, get the wrong people from the fuck up away from you at the same time. Like, very, 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 very important. This shit sound like cliches, but it's so true, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Make sure the people that you around regularly, the people who you talk to regularly, are aligned with your goals and your objectives and your morals and your beliefs and your direction. And the people who aren't, create space, man, and do it fast, like really fast. You'll fuck around and waste years of your life on, the wrong energy being in your cipher. You really you'll regret it. You'll regret it. Get people away from you, pull people closer to you. And again, it takes maturity, it takes time, it takes sort of, it's a process to know who those people are. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's not gonna happen easy. You know what I'm saying? Very important that you figure that out though as soon as possible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shit, guys. This episode was packed.
Yeah.
With so much shit, man.
So what's coming up soon? Do you have music on the way?
Yeah. I'll be in the studio while I'm up here. I'll be here for a couple of weeks. We're trying to get the vodka launched and get in all of the stores and expand the brute. And we're trying to get the bar open. Yeah. So I'm here. I'm on call for all things business for like the next 2 weeks. I'll be around. I'll be in the studio while I'm up here as well, trying to get an album put out before March if possible.
Yeah.
I've kind of got most of it done. I just got to go in the studio and vibe out, finish
What
it
studio do you go to? Do you have like a little?
I have a couple spots on here I go to. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out my man Troy Caesar. He's my engineer out here too. We get moving. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
Yeah. What's up?
But yeah,
so keep an eye out on the vodka coming out soon.
February 2nd.
Yeah.
February 2nd.
That's
Drink responsibly. You know what I'm saying?
Or not.
Please
Find
do.
your vibe.
Please.
Find your vibe.
Do this though.
No, that vodka will hit you, please.
That shit will hit you.
Support local businesses. Support Motu VJ.
Yeah.
And anything that's Grand Rapids based. You know what I'm saying? I want you to support Motu VJ, but if you just can't do it, at least support another brand that's out of Grand Rapids. It's enough here for us to be able to be self-sustained. You know what I'm saying? Let's be as sovereign as we can to what we do here in Grand Rapids. You know, you don't gotta leave the town to turn up. You know, keep your money and your interest here in the town as much as you can.
Wow,
that's real.
Yeah,
that's real.
I gotta go, y'all. So yeah,
appreciate you coming on, brother.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely, man.
Yeah,
y'all be smooth, bro.
All
right, for sure, for sure.
Episode 32.